A bedroom, Connecticut, October 2008. A week after the funeral, the family gathered to sort through belongings, to organize, to remember. His daughter opened the closet. His wife sat on the bed. Quiet, numb, still processing. Then, his son knelt down to look under the bed. For what, he didn't know. Storage boxes maybe, old shoes. But what he found was different.
A wooden box, locked, with a small key taped to the bottom. He pulled it out. "Mom," he said, "what's this?"
Joanne Woodward looked, recognition in her eyes, but also surprise. "I forgot about that," she whispered. "Open it."
Inside were letters. Hundreds of letters. Handwritten. On hotel stationery. On napkins. On scraps of paper. All addressed to Joanne. All signed Paul. Some dated, some not. Spanning 50 years. Letters he'd written but never sent. Or sent and she'd returned to him. Or kept as copies. A written record. Of a marriage. Of a love story. Of a man nobody really knew. Paul Newman. Movie star. Icon. Cool hand Luke. But in those letters? Just Paul. A man. Trying to express. What words can barely express. Love. Paul Leonard Newman was born January 26, 1925. Cleveland, Ohio. Jewish father. Catholic mother. Middle-class family. His father owned a sporting goods store. Expected Paul to take over, but Paul had different ideas. He was good-looking, charming, popular, but also shy, insecure. Didn't think he was special. "I'm just average," he'd say. "Nothing remarkable about me." His mother disagreed. "You're more than you think, Paul. Much more." After high school, he joined the Navy. World War II, served in the Pacific. Came back different. Older, more serious. Tried college, Ohio University, then transferred to Kenyon College. Studied drama. Not because he loved acting, but because it was easier than science. But something happened. On stage, Paul found something. A way to be someone else. To escape being Paul Newman. Just an average guy. From Cleveland, who didn't think he was enough. After college, he tried the family business. Hated it. His father died. Paul was lost. Then his mother said, "Go to New York. Try acting. Really try. Don't wonder what if for the rest of your life." So Paul went. Actor's studio. Studied under Lee Strasberg. Worked hard, got small parts, Broadway, television. Then Hollywood noticed. 1954, first film, The Silver Chalice. Paul hated it. Thought it was terrible. Thought his career was over. But Hollywood saw something. That face. Those blue eyes. That intensity. More films came. In 1953, before fame, Paul married his college sweetheart, Jackie Witt. They had 3 children, but Paul was changing, becoming someone different, someone bigger, someone Jackie didn't recognize and didn't want to know. The marriage struggled. Paul felt trapped, guilty, but trapped. Then 1957. The long hot summer. Paul met his co-star, Joanne Woodward, an actress, talented, beautiful, but different. Not Hollywood beautiful, real beautiful, smart, funny, challenging. She didn't care that he was Paul Newman. Didn't care about the blue eyes, the fame. She cared about Paul. Just Paul. The guy underneath. And Paul fell in love. Really in love. For the first time. Maybe the only time. But Paul was married, had children, was Catholic. Divorce was complicated, painful, wrong in his eyes. But staying was worse. So he chose. Divorced Jackie. Married Joanne. 1958. And felt guilty for the rest of his life. For hurting Jackie. For hurting his children. For choosing happiness over duty. "I'm a selfish man," he wrote in one letter, found under the bed. "I chose you, and I'd choose you again. But that doesn't make it right. It just makes it true." Hollywood expected the marriage to fail. 2 actors, both stubborn, both successful. It won't last. But it did. 50 years. Until Paul died. How, people wondered, how did Paul Newman stay faithful? Stay committed? In Hollywood? Where temptation was everywhere? Where affairs were normal? Where marriages ended before they began? Paul had an answer. "Why go out for hamburger when you have steak at home?" A famous quote, but flippant. Not the real reason. The real reason was in those letters, under his bed. Paul wrote to Joanne. Constantly. even when they were together, even when she was in the next room. He'd write notes, letters, thoughts.
You make me better. You make me real. Without you, I'm just a face, a name, nothing important. But with you, I'm Paul. And that's enough.
He'd leave them on her pillow, in her purse, under her coffee cup. Small reminders, daily reassurances that he loved her, chose her, needed her. But some letters he didn't give her. He wrote them, then kept them, under the bed, in the box. Why? His daughter asked, after they found them. Joanne smiled, sad smile. Because some things are too raw to say out loud, too vulnerable. So he wrote them, for himself, to process, to remember, and kept them, as proof that what he felt was real.
One letter, dated 1963. I'm scared, Joe. Scared I'm not good enough. For you. For this life. For anything that matters. The movies? They're just pretend. But you? You're real. And I'm terrified I'll lose you. That you'll see. I'm just Paul. From Cleveland. Nothing special. Nothing worth keeping. Reading it, 50 years later, Joanne cried. He never lost me, never could. But he never believed that. Never fully believed he was enough.
Paul's insecurity drove him, not just in acting, but in everything. Racing. He started racing cars in the 1960s, professional racing. People thought it was a hobby, a rich man's toy. But for Paul, it was more. When I race, he wrote, I'm not Paul Newman. I'm just a driver, car number whatever. And I have to prove myself, with skill, with courage. Not with blue eyes, not with fame, just me, and that matters. He won races, real races, against professional drivers, became one of the best. At 70 years old, still racing, still pushing, still trying to prove, to himself, to the world, that he was more than a pretty face, more than a movie star. He was capable, skilled, real. Then Newman's Own, 1982. Paul created a food company, salad dressing at first, then pasta sauce, popcorn, lemonade. But here's the thing, Paul gave away all the profits, every cent, to charity, hundreds of millions of dollars, over decades.
People asked why. Because I won the lottery, Paul said. Born good-looking, born white, born male, born American. That's luck, not merit. So I owe, we all owe, for the luck we didn't earn. But in the letters, he was more honest. I need to matter, Joe. The acting? It's empty. Racing? It's selfish. But this, feeding kids, helping camps, medical research, this matters. This is real. And maybe if I give enough, do enough, help enough, I'll finally feel like I deserve this life. Deserve you.
Joanne saved that letter, kept it separate, showed it to him once, years later. Paul, she said, you already matter. You always have. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Paul cried, held her, but never fully believed. The letters documented everything. The births of their children, the death of their son, Scott, from drugs, 1978. Paul never recovered, never forgave himself. I wasn't there, he wrote.
Too busy, too focused on career, on racing, on everything except what mattered, and now he's gone, and I can't fix it, can't change it, can't bring him back.
The guilt consumed him. For years. Only Joanne kept him going. You didn't fail him, she'd say. Life is complicated. People make choices. You loved him. That's what matters. But Paul couldn't hear it. Wrote letter after letter, processing, grieving, blaming himself. As Paul aged, the letters changed. Less about insecurity, more about gratitude.
I'm 70 now, 80 soon, and all I can think is, thank you, for staying, for believing in me, for making this life worth living. I wasn't easy to love. I know that. Stubborn, private, distant sometimes. But you stayed, and that's the only thing I did right. Choosing you, keeping you, loving you.
In 2006, Paul was diagnosed with lung cancer. He kept working, kept racing, kept living as long as he could.
But wrote more letters. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of leaving you. You've been my life, my purpose, my reason. And I don't know who you'll be without me. But I hope you'll be okay. I hope you'll remember. Not Paul Newman the actor, but Paul, Just Paul, who loved you more than anything, more than life.
Paul Newman died September 26, 2008, 83 years old, at home with Joanne. The end was peaceful, expected, but still heartbreaking. The world mourned. Paul Newman, the actor, the philanthropist, the legend. But Joanne mourned Paul, her Paul, the man who wrote her letters, who doubted himself, who loved her desperately, who tried so hard to be enough, to matter, to make a difference. When they found the box under the bed, Joanne wasn't surprised. He wrote constantly, she said. Even in the last weeks, he'd scribble notes on whatever he could find. I thought they were for me, but some, I think, were for him. Reminders, affirmations, that his life mattered, that he did enough, that he was enough. The family asked, should we share these? Are they too private? Joanne thought, then decided, share some, not all, but enough so people know. Paul Newman wasn't perfect, wasn't fearless, wasn't always confident. He was human. Struggling, doubting, trying, just like everyone. And maybe that's more important than the movies, than the fame, than any of it. Today, people remember Paul Newman. Cool Hand Luke, Butch Cassidy, the sting, the blue eyes, the smile, the cool demeanor. And they should. He was brilliant. But if you really want to understand Paul Newman, you need to know about the letters under his bed, written to Joanne, about doubt, about love, about the daily struggle, to believe you matter, to believe you're enough, to believe you deserve the life you have. When you're over 50, you understand this. You've lived long enough to know. Everyone doubts, everyone struggles, everyone wonders if they're enough, if they matter, if their life means anything. Paul Newman had everything: fame, money, talent, love, and still doubted, still questioned, still needed reassurance, and wrote it down, under his bed, in a box, as proof that the struggle was real, that the doubt was valid, but that love conquers it, that purpose matters, that trying is enough. Maybe you write too. Journals, letters, notes to yourself, reminders that you matter, that you're doing okay, that you're enough, not for anyone else, just for you, to process, to remember, to prove that you're here, that you tried, that you loved. Whatever form it takes, that documentation matters. Because life is hard, doubt is real, and sometimes we need evidence, written evidence, that we're more than we think, that we matter, that we're enough. Paul Newman wrote for 50 years, letters to Joanne, letters to himself, and kept them under his bed, not because he wanted anyone to find them, but because he needed them as proof that his love was real, that his struggles mattered, that he was more than Paul Newman the movie star. He was Paul, just Paul, a man who doubted, who loved, who tried. And in the end, that's all any of us can do. Try, love, matter, even when we doubt, especially when we doubt. For stories about the love that sustains us, don't forget to follow.